Hi, we are on day 3 of our trip to the serial killer exhibit, and right now I am putting objects under glass. This, for those of you who've been following for quite a while, you might know what it is. It is the tie that Richard Ramirez was wearing on his Los Angeles trial. So it's a very cool item. As you can see, the tie is beautiful. It's a heavy tie. I will put it on display under this glass thing here. We will add a sign that we described in Italian because the exhibition is in Italy. It will describe the tie and where it comes from. But maybe I will actually use one of those to display the tie correctly, like this. This would be nice. Yeah, this looks nice. And I will, for the moment, grab this. And there we go. This is how it's done. This little Ramirez display. Here we have other objects that I brought. There's this hand tracing here, a signed photo, a picture of a gargoyle that I will also put on a thing like this. And letters. This stationery here was used before the 2000s. As you can see, the letter is addressed to Merle. It's a letter to Merle Allen. So there it is on the glass with photos above. And look at the ceiling. The ceiling is amazing here. This is an old palace. It was actually a courthouse and a prison. So it's just amazing to see those names, like Angelo Buono, Ramirez, associated with a place like that. The contrast is striking. This is also from my personal collection here, a signed picture from Kenneth Bianchi. And there is a very rare envelope from Heineck here with a few photographs on the side with pictures, crime scene pictures. This is the place, the hall where he would put some of his victims. What a case. I don't think there's been a documentary on that case. Have you seen anything?
No, I think his story, and then there's a woman as well who had a girl, Sylvia something, had a girl in the basement too they were torturing. Like,
yeah.
Very, very similar. Neither of those have a big documentary yet.
Okay.
They could do a whole series on basement torture dungeons, you know?
True.
People.
True, there's quite a few. So in a few days, this place will be swarming with people. And we're quite lucky to be part of the few ones who see it before everybody else and actually participate to the organization of this. Here we have a wall of letters, many names, some known, some lesser known. Let's first comment on Henley. Here we have a nice signature here. How scarce is this? What do you think?
About the case?
No, the letter. I mean, something you would easily find, or?
Yeah, I mean these are all kind of a little more common. Some of them are pretty hard to find, but Henley, obviously there's a lot of stuff from him. Yeah. There's not as much stuff from Dean Corll, if anything, for that matter.
Yeah.
But this is kind of, he's the only real connection you have to that case, which is cool. Mm-hmm. And he ended up killing Dean Corll in the end, so
exactly.
It was a very notable case for sure.
Most, is it something that you... Yeah.
I don't know this case really.
Yeah, me too. I'm not really familiar. I couldn't tell.
I don't know everything.
It says that he's got 5 victims over there. Carnier. Yeah.
Carnier. He's, I think, the only school shooter in the exhibit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The only shooter at all.
Yeah.
A letter to Andrew Dodge, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's known to he's got a lot of friends. He writes. I've talked to him a lot. Very interesting guy. Very nice guy, it seems. And he did his crime when he was 13 years old, and now he's in his 40s. So it
wow, it's been a while now.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
This I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen this guy before. I've seen his face with the tattoos, but not sure.
Robin Gecht. How do you pronounce Gecht? Yeah, Gecht.
I never am for sure. Robin Gecht.
Yeah, that's a hard one to. So what do you think with about the Gacy connection? Is there any connection, or is it just...
People say that. You don't really know for sure, but...
Yeah.
All the Chicago Rippers are pretty notorious.
It looks like it's some kind of questionnaire.
Yeah.
I love outdoor travels.
You knew Elvis personally.
What the fuck?
His mom went to high school with Elvis? Okay.
Okay. Loves 50s to 70s music. Love horror movies. No shit. My favorite horror movies. Okay. Love children. Okay.
Better relationship with women than men. That's not true from what I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, he was killing women, so.
Yeah, true. Good sense of humor. Sometimes sick. Sick what? Sick humor?
Sick humor, yeah.
Yeah. I judge no one. Well, you've been judged, so...
Yeah. I hate liars, child killers, and those who hurt women and children. I feel like
wow,
you hurt women. Is that wrong?
Yeah, well... Okay, so for people who don't know, he actually cut the breasts of his victims and ate them. Yeah. So that's kind of funny to say that. Happy Valentine's Day. Wow. How about Saul?
Saul, I don't know. I've had some letters from him in the past. It's a cool painting, though.
It is.
It reminds me of the Israel Keys skulls.
Yeah, I was about to say, exactly. Graham, another obscure. I know more or less the case, but it's not one of those cases that's really popular. I think he was a hoarder or something. Mm-hmm. Samuel Little, it's one of those drawings that he did of his victims, I guess.
Yes, it's allegedly the most kills of any American serial killer, 93 victims. Mm-hmm. It wasn't all confirmed or convicted, but he kind of had enough information afterwards while he was in prison to close a bunch of cold cases. They sort of assumed that he's correct. Eddie Routh. Anything to say about Eddie Routh? Yeah, he killed the guy who wrote American Sniper. Yeah. He was a sniper. I think he was at a gun range. He went to a gun range and just shot him. Wow. I don't know if it was targeted specifically or just happened to be the guy, but yeah, he seems a little unhinged.
This is a case I kind of like. I read the book, The I-5 Killer. It's by Anne Rule. Mm-hmm. And this guy is interesting case.
Yeah.
Bundy-esque case. He was a football player, if I remember well. Mm-hmm. Here we have someone I don't know. Ruben Gomez.
Sure. He was in San Quentin though, so he did something bad, that's for sure.
Yeah. Where else do we have? Kimball, of course. Kimball. His usual skulls and things. And we have another wall here. So first, Haddon Clark. The usual drawing of children, and it's really sick. What he does, I don't know. It's yeah, not a huge fan of his art, but who's this guy? It says there that he killed 5 people, but I don't know the case. Neither do I know this case.
I know John Robinson a bit, but
yeah,
it's nothing. I wouldn't say it stands out
yeah.
too much. It's still cool to see like smaller ones featured.
Oh yeah. That's the point I think in this room.
Yeah, we were talking a lot about how you know Bundy, Gacy, Ramirez,
Yeah.
and Dahmer are the ones that get focused on everywhere. But
I used to write with this guy, Siebert, and usually he does porn art, very explicit porn art. Don't know this one, Joseph Fisher. It's a hand tracing. Began. Bill Suff. Oh yeah. Classic one. Riverside prostitute killer. 22 victims. That's a high body count.
yeah. He allegedly made chili.
Chili,
some of them
yeah.
won a chili cook-off.
Yep. So this one, not a serial, but an interesting look.
Mm-hmm.
You probably saw him on social media with his eyeball tattoo. I don't really know the case, but that's an interesting look for sure. This one I don't know who is.
Chester Dwayne Turner, I think is his name.
Okay.
He's in San Quentin as well, in California.
Wow, it's a high body count too. Look,
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Does he have a nickname or?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Here we have Jesse James Hollywood. What a name.
Classic.
Yeah.
The guy from Alpha Dog was the movie that they
Ah,
made
okay.
based on it, right? Yeah, he kidnapped the brother
Yeah.
of a drug dealer that owed the money and ended up killing him and then fleeing the country for a long time and then eventually
Oh, that's sick.
he mentions here there would have never been a kidnapping charge.
Oh,
Didn't kill Nick.
interesting. This one I don't
Prince
know.
Jr.
Yeah.
I've seen some stuff from him before.
Okay. This I used to write into.
Yeah.
Yeah. That case.
Bardo does a lot of art.
Yeah.
His letters are very much like, can you send me
Yeah.
an address? I think you hear too. Send it to high school students at Parkland, Florida, and then list of all the websites he wants something sent to. It could save lives. He's very like trying to advocate against gun violence. Even like kill somebody with a gun.
On the other side, we have a signed guitar by Manson. Very cool Manson signature here. And very cool painting there. I really like this one. So yeah, one thing we were commenting with Taylor is that, there's a picture of Sharon Tate here. I'm not sure we could use that same picture in France, for example, because Polanski lives in France now. So that might be tricky. You have other Manson stuff here. There's hair, pictures I had never seen before. A signed Spider-Man magazine. That's interesting. And I don't know why they put up this. This is not signed.
Well, I think that
Probably-
he hung out with Brian Wilson a lot.
Yeah,
and
that's
I think
the connection,
that
yeah.
There was a song, I think it's one of those two songs, that Manson wrote that was like adapted into a Beach Boys song.
Okay.
So his like, I think he had one song that ended up being used by them, kind of, but uncredited, obviously.
So we have an interesting thing here that we want to show you too. It's a corpse in a suitcase. So it's not a serial murder case, but it's a case that happened in Venice. So this is why you have a picture of Venice. And they found a body in a suitcase that's recreated here. The suitcase is recreated with a wax model here. It's really nicely done. As you can see, look at the details of the hands here. I'm not going to show the rest because the video will get censored, but interesting display. And we have this little Segawa corner with a picture of his kitchen on the wall. There's just a sign print and chopsticks that he used. For the next expo we will bring more stuff. I have way more stuff than that. Taylor has way more stuff. And here there's my corner, but it's in a work in progress because I'm waiting for a mannequin to dress with clothes that I used to wear when I was working on morgue. There will be a second glass display like that. And yeah, we have to put that skull under the display. Those are shoes that I used to wear in the morgue. So yeah, it's funny because they've been splattered with blood before. Of course, I cleaned it over time, but yeah, those are the shoes I used to wear in the morgue. And this is splattered with my blood, by the way. Yeah, all this. But I put varnish over it. All right. This name here, you might have never heard of it before. Vasily Alexandrovich Smilov. This guy killed 5 people in the late 70s in Russia. Those were extremely brutal murders. He would drive nails, long nails, into their skulls. He was known as the necromancer or the psychopath of Gatchina. And what's interesting here is that there are crosses that he made when he was in prison. They are made with bread. So that's a typical Russian inmates thing. They often do art with bread. It's a cultural thing, I guess. And I cannot stress enough how unique this item is. Of course, it's already hard to find items belonging to Russian serial killers, but this one in particular is extremely rare. This is him. He is one of the 13 cannibals, because he was a cannibal, that I talk about in my latest book, Russian Cannibals, Addicted to Human Flesh. You can find the book on Amazon or serialpleasures.com. So this is him, and those are pictures of him during the police reenactments. He mostly killed children, but not only children. He was a rapist, a cannibal, and a pyromaniac. This is one of his nicknames, the necromancer. Okay. Very interesting case. I'm trying to get a hold of objects that belonged to Chikatilo. It's not easy, as you can imagine, but this is my main goal for the next years to come. I have a few leads, so we will see in a few years if I could get them or not.